40 years, and she has never been found. Her case file is still on paper, the only Scotland Yard investigation still running on handwritten index cards from the 1980s. In 12 months, detectives are due to stop working it. This is the story of an appointment that took 4 minutes to write down and 40 years to investigate. In the summer of 1986, Suzy Lamplugh was 25 years old and selling houses in West London. She had grown up in South London with 3 siblings. Before this, she had worked as a beautician on the QE2, crossing the Atlantic. Now she worked for an estate agency called Sturgis at 654 Fulham Road. Her desk was in the office window, not because she asked for it. Her employers thought she was attractive and that having her visible from the street would bring customers in. That detail is not a footnote. It is the world she was working in. On the 28th of July, she made an entry in the office diary. 12:45. Mr Kipper, 37 Shorrolds Road, OS. Those last 2 letters mean outside. The appointment was not inside the property. It was on the pavement in front of it. At 12:30, she left the office. She took her keys and a purse with £15 in it. She left her handbag at her desk because she was coming back. It was the middle of a working day, in the middle of London, in bright July daylight. What happened on Shorrolds Road was witnessed. People saw a young woman arguing with a man in the street. Then they saw her get into a car. That is the last confirmed sighting of Suzy Lamplugh. Nobody knows who the man was. Nobody has ever known. She did not come back to the office. At 6:45 that evening, she was reported missing. Her company car was found that same night. A white Ford Fiesta parked on Stevenage Road, about 1.5 miles away, outside a different property for sale. The ignition key was gone. Her purse was sitting in the pocket of the driver's door. Whoever left that car there had parked it, taken the key, and walked away. What followed became one of the largest missing person investigations in British history. Officers went looking for a man who existed only as 2 words in a diary: Mr Kipper. For a time, detectives wondered whether Suzy had misheard a Dutch surname, Kuyper, and written down what she thought she heard. They looked. They found no one of that name connected to her in any way. The name has never been explained. 40 years later, it is still 2 words on a card. Years passed. The searches continued and produced nothing. 7 years after she vanished, the law did what the investigation could not. On the 27th of July, 1993, 1 day short of the 7th anniversary, Suzy Lamplugh was declared dead in her absence. Presumed murdered. Nothing had been found. Nothing had been proved. The declaration was not a conclusion. It was a deadline expiring. In 2002, the police did something forces almost never do. They publicly named a man they could not charge. John Cannan had been released from a hostel 3 days before Suzy disappeared. The following year, he abducted and murdered a newlywed woman in Bristol named Shirley Banks. For that, and for other offences, he was given 3 life sentences. Detectives said he was the only suspect in the Lamplugh case. The Crown Prosecution Service looked at the file and said there was not enough to charge him. There was no body. There was no scene. There was no forensic evidence tying him to her disappearance. Cannan denied it. He kept denying it for the rest of his life. So the case arrived somewhere almost worse than a mystery. The police had a name. They said it out loud. And it changed nothing. Suzy Lamplugh was still missing. Her family still had no answer. And the file stayed open. What happened over the next 20 years, the digs, the dead ends, and the strange fact that this investigation is still running on paper, is the second part of this story.